Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on something we do every single day, something that feels like pure magic. What really happens when you visit a website?
Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to follow the journey of a single request, from your keyboard, out into the vast world of the web, and all the way back to your screen. It's a fascinating look at the hidden gears that make the internet turn.
So our whole story kicks off with a very familiar action. We need to go somewhere online. Let's say to a place we'll call the Starlight Cafe.
And right there, that simple click, that press of the Enter key, it kicks off this incredibly complex, high-speed chain of events that zips across the entire globe.
So here's the very first, and maybe most crucial point. We humans, we love easy-to-remember names like Starlight.cafe. But the internet's machinery, it doesn't work with names. It needs a specific numerical address, which is called an IP address.
So what's the trick? How does your computer get from that friendly name to that string of numbers? Well, this is where the internet's giant digital address book comes into play.
And that system, that massive phone book for the internet, is called the Domain Name System, or DNS for short.
You can really just think of DNS as a massive, globally distributed phone book. Its one job is to look up the name you provide and find the correct number so your computer knows exactly where to go.
But here's the really clever part. This lookup doesn't happen all at once. It's actually a multi-step search, a kind of treasure hunt that's designed to be as fast and efficient as possible.
So first, your computer checks its own memory, its local cache. It basically asks itself, hey, have I been to the Starlight Cafe recently? If the answer is no, it asks your internet service provider. But if they don't know either, well, then it's time for the big search.
And this is that big search in action. It's this brilliant hierarchy. Your computer's request travels up a chain. It starts by asking a root server, hey, where do I find things that end in .cafe? That server points it to the right top-level domain or TLD server. Then it asks that server, okay, where do I find the Starlight domain? Which finally leads it to the host server that has the grand prize, the exact IP address. And boom, address found.
All right, we have the address. Now your browser knows exactly where to go. It can finally have a direct conversation with the Starlight Cafe's server.
This message it sends is called an HTTP request, and you can think of it like a polite note saying, hello there, I would like to get the file named menu.html, please.
Now, when the server responds, it always starts with a status code. I'm sure you've seen the dreaded 404 not found error. Well, what we're looking for here is the complete opposite, 200 OK. That's the universal signal for, I found what you asked for, and here it is.
The server's full response is packed with all this useful information. It includes things like the type of file it's sending, is it HTML, an image, a video, and exactly how big that file is. And then, right after all that housekeeping info, comes the main event, the actual raw code of the web page itself.
So, your browser receives all that raw code, and then it performs the final, and you could say most magical step of all, rendering the page.
And this just shows the transformation perfectly. On the left, that's the code the server sent. But on the right, that's what your browser turns it into. It transforms that structured text into a visual, interactive experience.
You know the most amazing part of all this? This entire journey, the name lookup, the request, the response, the rendering, all of that typically happens in less than a single second. It is absolutely incredible.
And when you get right down to it, it's this intricate, invisible dance of protocols that connects all of us to this global web of information. It's really what makes the internet, well, the internet.
It's a fantastic reminder of the incredible, hidden architecture that makes our modern world possible. So the next time you visit a website, just take a moment and remember the incredible journey that happens in the blink of an eye. Thanks for joining this explainer.